If you want to learn more about programming, there's tons of great resources online. I can't recommend this particular book more highly, Think Python, How to Think Like a Computer Scientist. It does a great job of walking you through programming concepts from the most fundamental basics all the way to some fairly high-level concepts. So if you want a really gentle ramp into learning how to think like a programmer so that you can translate that skill to other programming languages as well, Think Python is a great place to start. And it's free too. That's the other great thing about it. If you need more reference on TCL, there's an awesome tutorial on the official TCL man page. It's for an older version of TCL, but it's still great. It's on tcl.tk/man and tutorial. I'll include all these links in the course notes, but it's got a good walkthrough of sort of how TCL works. I would say if you don't know much about programming yet, you probably want to start by learning programmatic concepts using something like ThinkPython. But then once you have that stuff under your belt, you could go into something like this tutorial, which is a little bit more advanced, and start picking things up there. And then another awesome resource worth looking at is this Tutorials Point Coding Ground. What they are basically online terminals that will allow you to experiment in these different environments without having to install them on your system. So let's say that I wanted to run Python with NumPy extensions included. I could run this, and this will give me a Python terminal that I could then play around in. So this is an awesome resource if you don't want to spend the time installing it on your system, or you just want to test a little idea quickly. You can jump over here and get a console quickly to test this and a bunch of other things as well, like as you saw, there was things like CentOS, which is a Linux distro, so you could get a Linux terminal on this without even having to install Linux on your machine, so you could practice your bash skills. Once you start getting into everything, you're naturally going to need help occasionally. Google will be your best friend, and 9 times out of 10, the answer that's going to pop up is going to be on this site here, Stack Overflow. This is like a moderated question and answers forum where people can ask questions, and the best answers sort of percolate up to the top. So you'll probably find yourself on Stack Overflow a lot. Tons of great information. If you have a question, formulate it well, ask it on Stack Overflow, and you'll get answers from real programmers. And last but not least, the manual, RTFM. If you really need to know more about how something technical works in Nuke, you're better off searching through Nuke's documentation if it's a Nuke-specific question. This will be after you've gotten a little bit more of the programming stuff under your belt and you sort of know how to formulate your questions. You can, of course, ask me as well, and I can either point you to the correct documentation or maybe give you the answer immediately myself. So these are some of the resources you can use to really get your programming skills up to the level that maybe you'll be happy with the results that you can get. The great thing about programming, this is what I love about it, is it's a completely open field. Like you can basically do as much or as little as you feel you need to get the things done that you want to do. If programming doesn't interest you, you can completely ignore it. I would say you're ignoring it at your own peril, but you can choose to do that, or you can dig into it and go pretty much as far as your time and skill allow and really get good at it to where you can make the computer do all kinds of amazing stuff. I'm not even there myself. I just know enough to get the things done that I want to do, and once I've get those things done, I'm content with what I've been able to do with my programming skills. So hopefully you'll find some of these things useful. I'll put these links into the course notes for this week so that you can look at this stuff when you have some time.